Fife breaks through. Speaking of all-time greats, how good is he?
If you're David Mundy, you can do anything.
Brayshaw. Oh, he goose stepped beautifully. And a couple. Herky jerky, shake and bake. Magnificent.
Well, hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
We're back in business, baby.
Big time.
Big time
On the
indeed.
Flagmantle Podcast.
That's it. Rilke and Stu are in the studio for a beautiful Monday afternoon. So it's not the Tuesday, it's the Monday.
Yeah.
What a great weekend, mate.
Early little Monday surprise for everyone out there. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, we beat the Suns. We won a game of football.
Yay.
How good's that?
Mate, we did. It was the Suns.
It doesn't matter. A
But
win's a
still,
win.
we won.
4 points. 4 points are on the board. That's all we need. 4 points is still 4 points, real car. Doesn't matter who you beat.
Mate, absolutely. But something that was obviously a major talking point of this round, the gather round, one of the biggest talking points. Obviously, every game was played in Adelaide, which was great. There was, recent news as well, Stewie. Something that came along the lines of, we'll just let you listen in right here because it's 7 News Adelaide, by the way.
The AFL has officially locked in Gather Round to stay in Adelaide for 3 more years. South Australia has secured the Festival of Football until at least the end of 2026 after a hugely successful inaugural event over the weekend. More than 220,000 people attended matches over the past 4 days, including over 60,000 visitors flying in from interstate.
Mate, that's big news. So three more years of Gather Round in Adelaide, which is great news for Adelaide. A missed out opportunity for Western Australia, don't you think?
Yeah, possibly, but I think maybe this might be the right idea to build Gather Round first in like one spot and then take it on the road so every town gets 3 years with it or something like that, just to really boost tourism for like 3-4 years. So I don't hate it. Would I have loved to seen it being moved, pre-2026? Yeah, of course. But I mean, if this means that it's going to be somewhere else after Adelaide, I think that's fine. Just give every town except Melbourne a turn with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess South Australia paid up the big bucks, and if you pay up the big bucks, you're going to get whatever, entices. So, South Australia, credit to you, credit to the SA Premier as well. Did a lot to, get that one through the line. I think it will be very beneficial, especially for a lot of the residents of South Australia and just AFL in general, because everyone just came and had a great, good old jolly time in Adelaide, didn't they, mate?
Yeah, I heard great things about Gather Round, actually.
Not a bad thing at all.
No, I heard great things about the round. I mean, the games were a bit, I don't know, some were a little bit lackluster, some were played on ovals where there's a little bit of lack of atmosphere. They said they sold out a bunch of games and people weren't in them, like in the stadium.
Too busy getting smashed at the clubs, mate.
Yeah,
whatever there are in
Well,
Adelaide.
apparently there's a bunch of tickets where you buy one ticket and it permits you to go to like 3 games, and people just didn't want to go to certain games with the ticket. So
okay, that makes
it was
sense.
a sellout, but people didn't really go to every game.
Let's count maybe like a third of them, or like maybe a quarter of them didn't turn up. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe around that.
yeah, because a lot of them just went to some games, not all of them. So, I think maybe It looks great on paper saying it's a sellout, but if people don't show up, people don't show up.
Mate, absolutely. There's also, for next year, a few sample clubs that obviously Norwood hosted one, so they're very happy that, the AFL got to play a first ever match. Obviously, the first ever one, the 47th match to be played at a new ground is obviously the Fremantle and the Gold Coast one, which is great. Norwood, I thought that one stood up quite well. I liked how the dimensions of the ground were more like,
I didn't like
square.
that.
You did not?
Nah.
I thought it opened up the game. It was like really fast paced. I liked it.
No, I didn't like it. I mean, there's about...
Besides Damien Brereton from
Dermy?
Dermy. Sorry,
Yeah.
Dermy is talking about how Luke Lukosius can kick a ball.
Yeah,
from
Jack
50.
Lukosius. Yeah, we didn't need to hear that many times, Dermy, but yeah.
It was like every time. It was on repeat.
It was
like
on repeat
It was
for
like a wound up clock.
the first half.
It was quite tragic.
It
but
was really bad.
we heard the once and we're like, fine, Damo, this is not bad. Like,
Mm.
Dermy, this is getting too much. And then, it was what it was. But we still won, and the commentators didn't sound happy by then. End of the
No.
match, did they not?
No, they didn't. But back on the ground dimensions, real car, I thought it kind of slowed up the game a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I did. And every time there was a stoppage, there was no free open play, and that was demonstrated in the disposal numbers. We saw 2 Dockers with 20 plus touches. One of them was Sarong with 37, and the other one was Schultz on 20.
Mate.
Everyone else had less than that, so you could see people just weren't getting their hands on the ball.
Yeah.
Because there was a bunch of stoppages, and on top of that, the refs didn't play ball for a lot of things that should have been ball. So that goes both ways as well, not just for us.
Give the AFL,
Yeah.
Gil McLaughlin, a run through of why Western Australia particularly should be over South Australia for the gather round next year.
Oh God,
Want
I
to
don't
go?
even.
3, 2, 1,
Oh.
let's go.
All right, Gil, mate, you're supposed to be leaving soon, so I don't even know why I'm having this pitch at ya. But I guess WA is the great state, and we're the second biggest football state in the country. So
Mate, yeah, exactly.
we deserve 9 games in WA because we're gonna smash the numbers that Adelaide did out of the park. 220,000? No, that's easy. We'll get 300,000. Easy. We have Optus Stadium, we have Lathlane, we have Leaderville, we have the place down at Coburn, we have Mandurah. We have so many places that you can play football, and the grounds here are lovely, and I would love to go. I'd love to go, Real Car.
Mate, you did a splendid job.
Thank you.
You'd do great in a business room.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I don't know if I would, but
Keep going.
I'll keep going.
No, I'm joking. No, you've done well. I'm not going to put the pressure on you like that again.
Okay.
I'm really sorry.
Should we do the speed of recap?
Yes, we
Yeah.
should, because everyone's like, what the hell's going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Fremantle 15-10, 100 defeated the Gold Coast Suns 13-12, 90. Look, this was a game of 2 halves. The Suns came out with a blistering first half and really put Freo away, or they should have put Freo away. They missed so many of their opportunities going forward, missed a lot of easy shots on goal, messed up some really easy plays that would have had them scoring, like guaranteed. And it was Fremantle that took advantage in the second half. A wonderful third quarter followed up by a really, really, really strong fourth quarter.
Yeah, I thought
Meant that Freo overran the Suns when they probably should have lost this game. This was the Suns' game to lose, and they lost it. Freo came back, and sometimes talent and effort prevails. And look,
Mate, we did well.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of the day, it's a win on the paper, and it provides a bit of safety and pressure off from JL, which I think he probably was feeling. I think his face was had a bit of relief on that once the final siren went. So that was demonstrated by him meeting up with the players, and he made sure he got down there. I'm actually really enjoying what JL's doing with sitting down on the boundary anymore, getting around the players.
Well,
I think it's
wonder
a good
if-
tactic to have, especially with trying to socialize and giving messages one-on-one, because I think that's something that he lacks on the field. I bet he's great behind the field, but off the field, sorry. And I just think now with game day, if you can spend half of it up there, half of it down there, I think it's really important, especially for new coaches and whatnot, because the new coaches are doing it. Ross was on the floor. Adam Simpson has been doing it recently too. Chris Scott has been doing it. Fagan's been a big fan of it for a long time. So I think it's quite a little good. Credit to you, JL.
Well, I heard. I think it was Alistair Clarkson talk about this before the decision to stay in the box versus on the ground, and what he said was, if this is like a tactical game where tactics is gonna mean winning or losing the game, then he's going to stay in the box. Whereas if he knows this is going to be an effort game, maybe it's wet, maybe it's windy, maybe everyone's stuffing up and he just needs more effort, he goes down to the bench to rile everyone up. So I think it should be something that all coaches do periodically, and I think maybe the Gold Coast game was a bit of an effort game that we just needed to put a bit more effort in, and that's why JL was on the pine. So yeah, I liked seeing it, but it's probably not a good sign if we need the coach to be there to win. Yeah.
Okay, too sweet. So that's the end of Stu's speedy recap, but I'll have a little touch on David Swallow. He did a little bit of opposition praise right here. David Swallow, number 1 draft pick, he's played the most games for Gold Coast. Great career so far. He had a great game, which is good.
Jack Lukosius?
Jack Lukosius had an
As
amazing
much
game.
as I hated what Dermy said about him, like
Yeah.
he kept
This
saying
man can
it.
bloody kick a ball from your bloody backyard to bloody Optus Stadium. That's pretty much what he was doing.
Look
pretty
at
much.
that. Not only he can kick at 65, but he can kick them at lace out. It's like, Dermy,
We've seen it on visuals.
I've heard it. I've seen it. I've heard it. You don't need to say it 300 times in one match. It's okay. We understand your point. We get it. You're an expert. That's a cool thing that Lukosius is doing. We understand, but it hurts when all you're talking about is the Suns and Lukosius. So, thanks, Dermy.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Yeah, done. Overrated
Yeah.
as fuck. That's what I think.
Is that going to be our anchor wanker?
Yeah, you could possibly say that.
Yeah.
Should we just go over a couple little cheeky ones, especially
Yeah.
with Caleb Sarong? What a man and what a player this fella's turning out to be. He got 125 in fantasy, 37 disposals, so one of the top of the round. 19 kicks and 18 hit. I was about to say hit outs. That's not really good, is it?
No.
But yeah, his game has gone to a next level. He only played 85% time as well. So, Caleb Sarong, you've done the justice to the Fremantle Football Club. You're one of our rising, you're a shining star, isn't he not? He's one of our best midfielders, if not probably the best.
I think
At
in
this point in time.
2023 he's been our best.
Definitely.
I think Brayshaw's dropped off a little bit. Will Brody's been dropped. Like, I think it's Sarong's midfield this year. I mean, I hope Brayshaw comes back and outperforms him again. But by the looks of things, it's Sarong's group.
Absolutely. Sean Darcy, mate. Sean Darcy, 118 on the fantasy, 18 disposals. He had 48 hit-outs. He dominated Moyle.
Ned Moyle, yeah.
Ned Moyle. Credit to Ned Moyle. He's going to be a terrific player, but he got dominated in a lot of aspects. And he had, how many clearances did he have?
He had a lot.
He had like six clearances
Yeah,
as a
probably
ruckman.
something like
I
that.
think that's crazy. So it was 6 or 4, one of them. But for a ruckman, having those clearances and giving that ball out to the forward line,
9
which really needed-
clearances.
9.
9 clearances. He
Wow.
led the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a 3 votes from him, or is that going to go to Caleb?
I think it's going to Sarong, but I think Darcy would be a strong 2 votes.
I think Caleb will get the 3, Sean will get the 2, and
And
Swallow will get the 1.
Yeah, Swallow or Schultz or
Yeah.
Lukosius.
Yeah, Schultz had a great game as well. Probably his best game in quite some time. 104 fantasy, 20 disposals, 3 goals, and 12 kicks, and he set up a lot. And to demonstrate how brilliant that little shake-off tackle was, that was an outstanding show
Yeah,
of
the one for
strength.
Walters.
Absolutely, damn! From getting absolutely like hammered by that Gold Coast player.
Was it Holman?
It was Horman, sorry. Yeah, so when he got tackled
Yeah.
straight away, the brute strength to do that, that is outstanding. That's a
Yeah.
lot of time in the weight room, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. That's a lot of the
Commentators saying.
What do you call it? The bench press?
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
bench pressing. So
Heaps of bench press from Schultz.
you've done a great job over the summer. You've really trained the house down, and it's shown.
He's
And
got plumber's arms, mate. He's very strong.
yeah, he's a plumber man.
Very good with his hand. So, yeah, able to fend that one off for
Let's
a
do that
Walters
to
goal.
Rory Lobb next week, and we'll be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll get to more of Roy Lobb later in the week, but
Time to get to Ankle Wanker, mate.
yeah, let's do it.
Those comments didn't really display a gratitude for the hard work that others had put into him.
Fucking big fucking stick.
First coming off, do it.
Fucking get him off.
Yeah,
Get Vincent off.
he's coming off. Get him back off. Get him off. Get him off. Get him off.
Vincent off.
Rocket, we can't.
Mate,
Anchor
Anchor
wanker.
Ankle Wanker.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready for it. My anchor wanker of the week. He's been copping it all week, and it's Damien Barrett, who works in the AFL media, to suggest that we should have a showdown or a derby played in Melbourne is one of the most selfish Victorian-esque things you can ever say. It perfectly summarizes Victorian media, Victorian sports. The AFL as a whole is still really the VFL with some interstate exceptions. So, Damien Barrett, can you not suggest that there should be a showdown, a battle of the bridge, a Q clash, a derby played outside of anywhere but their home state, because that is absolutely ridiculous.
That is outrageous.
What if we got a Dreamtime game in Queensland, or what if we had the Anzac Day match in New South Wales? Like, how would the Victorians feel? What if the look how outraged they were when the grand final was moved because of COVID. I mean, they hate it when footy's not in their state.
They chuck a spitty, didn't they?
Spat the dummy.
Spat the dummy.
Oh, man, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Victorians wanting more when they already have everything.
That's it. It's the whining of the Fremantle Dockers media, isn't it, right? Or the VFL media, my bad. What am I talking about?
Not the Freo Dockers media.
Not the Freo Dockers.
They don't whine.
Are we going to talk about the Purple Pants Player of the Week? Mate?
Yeah, do it.
Hooray! Oh, sorry, a bit too early.
Hooray! Oh, I was
That's
a little
my
bit
bad.
late. I was a little bit late. My bad.
Don't worry. We'll
Purple
just be
Pants
just right.
Player of the Week. Do you have one? Do you
Mate,
have your one?
My Purple Pants Player of the Week goes to Lockie Schultz, mate. I think his work around the ground was outstanding. It's just something he's been doing for quite a while. It's been under the radar, but this game truly showed it. He loves to set up his teammate. He's got that brute, tradie, plumber, like... Oh, it's
Bit
got,
of grit.
it's got the grit. It's got the Fremantle, like, the vigor. You know, like the
blue collar.
The blue
like,
collar. That's him.
Yes.
That's him.
Yes.
Lockie Schultz, mate. You're him. That's him.
He slash him. Himothy.
Yeah, Himothy. Ladies and gentlemen, him. He's great. Lockie Schultz, love what he did. 3 goals.
Yep.
He set up a couple, so he could have easily had a couple himself. It's arguably Amiss is one of his. It's his best game for Fremantle.
Well, he's my Purple Pants Player of the Week, and I'll tell you
Hey.
why. Amiss, I think this is Amiss's breakout game. I mean, we said a lot about him in his first year where he booted 2 in debut and then kicked 2 against the Dogs in a final, but this was
That's
by
just his
far
raw
his best
talent.
performance.
That's
this
his raw
was
talent.
unbelievable game by Amiss, and he didn't even get the Rising Star nom. Adelaide Crows defender Max Michaelini got it.
I mean,
for-
credit off to Michael Annie. He's gone
But this
great.
wasn't his best week, Michaelini. He's been playing fantastic all year, and this is probably his worst game all year. Amiss boots 3, 9 score involvements, 4 contested marks. Doesn't get it.
Don't worry. I believe
Robbery.
in Amiss. He'll back
Robbery.
it up with 6, so don't worry. 6 against
6 against Roy Lobb,
Oh, mate.
the Lobb squad.
The Lob Squad. Are we calling them
Yeah.
that? The
Lob
Lob
Squad.
I like that.
Yeah, okay.
That's a good one. But yeah, this Amiss shout out. Only 74 in fantasy, but who gives a damn?
Nah.
3 goals. He could have easily had 4 or 5.
Yeah.
He set up Matt Johnson with his first. Matt Johnson, can we get a quick little discussion about him? He's gonna, I think, Amiss and Matt Johnson lock them in to 22, because if you give those games and back them every week, even though if they don't perform often, they just need the bleeding through to the top level. Matt Johnson, I think, is ready. Sadly, he may be taking over Nathan Driscoll's spot in the side at this point in time. It's just going to be a bit of a wrestle, but it's definitely it's great to see
That's good,
competition. It's
though.
great
I
to see
love competition for spots, because that's how players get better faster. Because all of a sudden, it's not like, oh, here's your spot, I'm just going to maintain it and
Yeah, you
I'll
got to
be fine.
play for your spot.
You've got to earn it. You've really got to earn it. So you have to improve week on week. So I think that's great that we finally got some competition for spots, especially with the young guys. So I can't complain at all that O'Driscoll or Henry didn't get games, because at the end of the day, going back to Peel it's a shock to the system, and it's gonna make them want to get
Being-
back into the AFL.
Being in that
because
Peel colour, mate, it does
Yeah.
put a little dent in your ego, doesn't it? You're
I'm
like,
sure it
I'm
would.
playing in the 2s.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't have been too happy with
Can we-
it, but
Can we talk about Will Brodie when he looked at the
Yes.
camera when he in the Peel Thunder Room when he was singing the team song a couple of weeks ago when he had the 37 at Peel,
I
and
didn't
he
see
did-
this.
and it was the team song, and they're in the Peel rooms, and Will Brodie looked back at the camera, gave the side eye, the dirty side eye.
Side
Yeah,
eye.
it was really bad. But
Yeah.
look at that, he backed it up.
Mm-hmm.
Medical sub came in.
Was fantastic.
He was fantastic. 16 disposals in whatever time he had 48, so he played half the game, and he had 16.
So if he played full game,
could have
he
had
would
an even
32,
bigger game. I
so-
think his confidence will get
Yep.
even better. JL, you know it yourself. Don't ever drop Will Brodie ever again, because it will bite you in the bum. Definitely. Will Brodie's.
He needs to be included back into our team. We'll discuss the team tomorrow's podcast.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll do that a little bit later, but yeah, Will Brodie deserves a full-time chance again.
Mate, time for Real Cars Rant.
This week, a hot new bombshell enters the villa.
It's Rilka with a rant.
Oh my god, he's gonna kill us!
Mate, that's right. Rulkar's rant for the week. And you could also say Stewie, but I'm going to go start it off the bat, mate. I think Dermy needs to stop this loquacious bullshit. And also this, like, Fremantle crap. It's not called for, especially with Fremantle. I just think it's just been it's like a lottery ticket if you get out of Fremantle's game. It's like all the commentators in the AFL and the 7 AFL, whenever they, want to go do their game, it's like a bad luck thing to get the Freo, and it's like a resenting thing. I only think there's a couple that really enjoy watching Freo play.
Papalia.
Yeah, pretty much. There's not much else. Who else is? There's one caller from WA who's really great.
Paps is my favorite,
Paps?
so I only know Paps.
You only know Paps?
Yeah, I like Paps.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have a look because
Schofield on special comments is good.
Yeah.
I was listening to commentary or a review or something in a podcast, and someone said Sam Darcy instead of Sean Darcy. That seems to be common. I hate that. I bloody hate when people say Sam Darcy. I think that was on radio. I forget who said it, but
can we just bring back Dennis Committee, because he used to love. I mean, obviously he's a WA man, but he used to love umpiring. Talking about Fremantle and the West Coast, which was great.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm a bit sad that he's not in. Jared Waitley though, he's not too bad.
Jared Waitley's pretty good.
He's not too bad. I think he represents the Dockers quite well.
Hutto's pretty good.
He does, yeah. When he talks a lot about the Dockers, he talks about them with like good pride. It's like, I think the Dockers will do quite well this year. Love that. Who else is there that's really, really good? James Brayshaw. We never get him though because he's always on the big games.
Yeah, yeah.
He's one of the premium commentators.
He's like the extra. You pay extra for people like him.
That's like the golden egg of the round.
Yeah.
Like that one premium game.
Yeah, like the free-to-air games on a Friday night. Which, speaking of Friday night, we get a standalone Friday night against the Dogs.
Do we?
Yeah.
Hey, we get the whole
6:10.
national television on us, mate.
Yep.
So that's something to look out forward.
Hopefully we don't choke this really badly and make ourselves look like idiots. Mate. But let's hope not. Should we get into the Q&A?
Q&A.
Mate, you sent the bloody questions in, so we're going to bloody answer them. That's how it works here. You're listening to Q&A here on Flagmantle Podcast.
Right. I've got the questions with me now.
Neil.
Question number 1, Freo in Focus. Hello, Brody. What do you reckon we need to fix so that we can win comfortably? We need to get our starts right. I saw the stat the other day that we had won 3 first quarters in the last 20 games we played, and that is just not acceptable. We really need to fix that issue and win a first quarter for once. I heard Will Schofield talk about it, and the Eagles in 2014 had a real problem with starting games, and what they did is, okay, for the first quarter, we're just going to go berserk. Like, we're just going to play fast. We're going to put on a score.
That's what they need to be doing every week. And they need to play TNT or, Back in Black or something.
Yeah.
Hype
them up.
Yeah. Whatever song. Play Skrillex. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Sam Sturt, get on that playlist, mate.
Well, he can now. He's on the sidelines for a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
poor fella.
M Hunter K01. Should the 2 tolls and 5-man mosquito fleet be our forward structure going forward?
Absolutely.
I think so. I actually really liked it.
Saw an article. West Australian 2 and 5 is the way that Fremantle are going to win. The games that we had the 2 forwards, we've won. So that's the Eagles won. I think it was Matt Taberner and Amiss. Those were our 2 main key forwards, and we only had the 2. So
because Jackson played a lot of midfield that game,
Yeah, so we have, I think it's clear. Amiss, Luke Jackson, chuck them up forward. That's our winning chemistry.
That's our combo for the next decade. It's going to be great.
I think even though Jackson, everyone's like, he's not a forward, but I think he's done some really good improvement over the past couple of weeks. I think he's getting better and better. And I think what we saw at Melbourne is only a snippet of what he's going to actually be. And I think people need to still jump on the Luke Jackson bandwagon because I think this is going to be interesting to watch.
Fully agreed. Same person again. How good is having natural forwards like Amiss and Sturt, Sheesh, actual leads?
Sturt did well. I think Amiss knows how to lead, and he knows
Amiss-
how to market, and he
yeah.
knows how to kick it. So Amiss will be perfect. Leave him alone. He'll be
Yes.
fine. Sturt, I think he's... Okay, I know you're not a...
Yeah, look, I think he led well, which is better than what we've had in previous weeks. But I think
It's
given
his
him the
first game
opportunity,
back in 3 years, 2 years.
if you give him the if the coaching staff have the opportunity to replace him for someone better, I think they will. I think.
Is there anything down in Peel Thunder that can replace him though?
Well, maybe not on Peel Thunder, but sitting on the couch at home when Nat Fife returns from injury, I think it'll be a straight swap for Sam Sturt.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't think Sturt keeps his spot. I think Banfield is above him, Frederick above him. I think Switter going down might save him this week.
Banners is in the team, and I think the way he steps up at the last minute, I think Banfield has saved our asses way too many times. But I think
he's been good.
Sam Sturt, though, I think he's got a limited window to impress this year. So if he can impress sometime next week or even the week after, if he holds his spot, because Nat Fife ain't in just yet. So we'll actually touch on the injury list very shortly after this.
We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it in tomorrow's
how about
podcast.
Katie.Elliott, do you think Freo can make finals if they continue doing this? Absolutely.
If they played like they did in the second half, then we'll easy make finals.
Absolutely.
Easy. I did the math earlier. We probably going to need 13 wins to make finals this year with the included gather round games. There's an extra game for the good teams to win, so that bumps up the limit from 12 to 13 games to make finals. So 13 games is your point, and we've got 2 games with 18 to go. So we need to go 11 wins and 7 losses from here in the season to have a reasonable shot at finals, which I think is perfectly reasonable if we play like we did in the second half. So yeah, I think so. The Tahani J, what's David Mundy up to?
He's playing some local ammo footy. Yeah, I think last moment I texted him trying to get him on the pod. That's a little sneaky one. And he responded back and he was like, I've had way too many interviews, mate. Maybe in 6 months. But that's pretty much a backhand. That's David Mundy's signature.
He's just fended us off.
That's his Liam Ryan. That's like the handshake that he pulls away.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
he did that to us.
Yep. Maybe we should make a meme of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
That one too. _row_ the creativity and skill that Freddie, Schultz, and Walters bring to the team is underrated. I agree. Arguably one of the best 3 small forward combos in the league. I think they always stand up. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think Walters has been fantastic this year.
I'll back that as well. Daniel _Katronis. Why can't they always play like they did in the last? I don't know.
Good question.
They're going to fix that though.
Great question. But yeah, that is something to fix. Will Corocan
2007.
Gee, that's
how many wins
will
will
last
Freo
name?
need to make the 8?
Well, 13, and that means 11 to go. AFL Amusement, prediction of Roy Lobb's stat line, 10 marks and 8 goals. Sound about right? I think maybe 10 injuries, 8 fumbled marks, and, I don't know, 3 tears? We'll see. I don't know.
It's all right.
Yeah.
He's all right.
He's all right.
Overrated as fuck, in my opinion.
Oh, I agreed.
Absolutely.
He's been shocking this year. It's been worse than Jackson.
AFL Amusement, mate. Sit down, mate. Sit down.
Shit down, mate.
Shit down. I got Michael Fiddock. Will Tabs be delisted? Oh, that's a good one. Well, it depends on if he can get his form right. And I think he just needs a good spell at Peel. And obviously his back injury is a bit of a TBA at the moment. So it really depends.
He's still contracted through the next year, I think. So I don't think so. But I think another team would have a look at him if we were to delist him, want to get rid of him. I think another team would give him a crack instead. So maybe not. We'll see.
Absolutely. Mitchell.Fry, Amiss winning the Coleman, and Caleb winning the
Brownlow. Yes.
Yes,
yep,
absolutely.
Awesome.
Sarong finishes higher than Brayshaw with Brownlow votes. That's by Mitchell again.
I think that's probably going to happen.
That's right up now.
See.
Is Lob going to get injured this week? Hopefully not. Maybe like at the end, once he
yeah.
got booed. I'm so salty.
Yeah.
We're so salty. Julian.Spiker should be getting that on another contract. Yes, but way less money.
Cheaper contract.
Cheap chips, and I hope he says yes.
Yes.
Does Wagner stay, and do we blame the fumbles on it being his first game, or does Wilson? That's by Mitch
Well,
S.
it's
Rogers.
not his first game. It's his
it's
27th
first game. First game in quite a while, though.
Yeah.
I thought he presented well to the ball, even though he did have a few turnovers, like a few.
I thought he was noticeably our weakest player. I thought he was probably a little bit behind it. Whether he needs some time to warm back up to the level after
I'll give him
playing
the
it.
opportunity again
Yeah.
this week, but like it depends if he doesn't perform up to the standards. I think just a bit more time at Waffle will get him. He definitely deserved the debut. But yeah, it's just a lesson of can he produce better on that, and can he improve upon it? And I think he will. I think he's got.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah. Why are you recording on a Monday? Stewie said. Dad.
My dad.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Just because we wanted to get something out quickly.
Yeah.
We had a Friday night game, so brings the pod forward as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Did Sturt make our forward line better with his presence and leading as opposed to Taberner? I think
it's a good argument to make. I like the argument. I think so.
He knows how to read the footy quite well, Sam Sturt. So he's a smart player. I think he did do better than Tabs has in the past couple of weeks. So yes, I'll answer yes to that. Last two. Hey, Brian, Amiss robbed of Rising Star nom. Yes, we are very disappointed.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael Annie for winning it, but as you said, he's had better weeks before, and Jai Miss had a standout game. But don't worry, Jai will step up, and he will kick 6 this week, and he will get the Rising Star. Free Hub, last one, mate. Which catchphrase are you two liking the most, Saronglo or Barolong?
Oh,
both are pretty bad.
These are terrible. How about Caleb 3 votes? How about that one?
Yeah.
How about that one? Shout out Caleb 3 votes.
I remember the good old days. The good old days, mate. Those were great days, weren't they not?
Oh, they were the days, mate. Is that all the questions?
Mate, that is all the questions.
Let's wrap it up.
It is time to get out of here.
It's been good. It's been good, mate.
We'll be back tomorrow, don't stress.
Back tomorrow.
Thanks for the questions. Send them in tomorrow.
Yeah, refer a friend to the podcast, mate. Get doing those reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Everything helps. Everything's great. We got some more content coming in the next few weeks, and I'll see you later.
Absolutely. See you laters.
Thank you for listening to the Flagmantle Podcast. It's been an honor hosting, hasn't it?
It surely has been, mate.
Can you please, we are begging you 5 stars on Spotify. It means the world to us. It lets us
I'm on my
get off your knees, mate.
Yes, I'm on my knees, guys. Please.
It helps us push it out to as many people as we can. Thank you for listening. Follow us on Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, anything else, Realcar, Twitter,
anything
YouTube.
social media, honestly.
Anything social media, we have it. So please follow us on there. 5 stars.
Except
don't
for
forget.
OnlyFans.
We're also on Apple Podcasts, so if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts, follow us through there. Google Podcasts, the same. And thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
Peace.